Okay, so today we'll do one more problem based on the stub. So in order to understand better, so take this problem, so where we have the load, or we can write design a single series open stub. Okay, so matching network. Okay, so design a single series open stub matching network that transforms load ZL, which is equal to 100 plus J 50 ohm to a 50 ohm feed line. Okay, so now this is the problem which is given. So now we need to use single series open stub. This is important. Okay, so single series open stub we need to design. So now the first step, so we need to use the normalized value. So do that normalized value, that is 100 plus J 50. So since we need to match it to 50 ohm, so divided by 50, this is a characteristic impedance. So we will going to get J plus 1. So now locate the, so whatever the value of the normalized impedance in your Smith chart. Okay, where it is? So that is, what is the value? 2 plus J1. So now we can see where it is 2 and where it is 1. So here it is 2 and J1 is here. So this is what your the load point, normalized load point. Okay, so now by taking this radius, so you need to draw the VSWR circle. Okay, draw the VSWR circle. So this is what your VSWR circle. Okay, so now from this point, so now we need to move till the point where we need reach the resistance value, which is 1. So this is our unity resistance circle. Okay, so now we can see here, so we have two solutions. So that is from this point to this point we can go. Okay, and this point to this point we can move. That is, so always we need to so move the distance from here to here. So and also, so from, because this is the load point, always we need to move towards the generator. How much distance we need to move? Always we need to move towards the generator. So either you arrive at this point, so this we need to go from here to here, and here to here we have to go. Okay, so because, so we have at the load point ZL, so now we need to move a distance. So in order to connect the stub, so where we need to move a distance from the load. So now you can see here, so this point, so we can move from this point to this point and note down what is the value of the impedance there. Okay, so since we need to so design series stub, okay, series open stub, so we'll move on to the unity resistance circle. So now you can see how much distance it is there. So take that distance and we can measure it. Okay, so this from center point to this point, and you plot one line and you can measure it how much it is there. Just I'll take the scale. Okay, so you can draw the line. So here it is the load point. Okay, and now so we need to move from here to here, the distance. So draw the line. So now this is the distance we are moving towards the generator. So this is the distance. So measure the distance. So what is the distance here? So I found that here 0.212. Okay, the distance is, so the starting point is 0.212 and the ending point is 0.34338. Okay, so now we have to subtract that 0.338 and 0.212, so that you will going to get the distance. Okay, so 0.16 lambda. So this distance we have to move to get the point. So let us take this point as A. Okay, so in order to get that point A, so where we need to connect the stub. Okay, so this distance, so we are measuring it as 0.16 lambda. So now you measure what is the value of the impedance here. So what is the value of impedance at that point A? At point A, the impedance value, which is equal to normalized 1, so which is equal to, so 1 minus J1. Okay, so we got 1 minus J1. So now we need to so neutralize this reactance. So that's why we need to connect a stub, so in which we are specifically saying that it is a series open stub. Okay, so now you need to look at the length of the stub from the open circuit point, where it will give the value of minus J1. Okay, so now you can see this is the open circuit point. Now from this point, so we need to move till the value where the J1 it is. So now you can see here in the impedance chart, so minus J1 in the lower half. So this is the value where we will get the length. So from here to here, the length of the stub we will going to get. So this is what it is offering, minus J1. So what is the length of the stub? So you can see here it is 0.25 and here it is 0.375. So 0.375 minus 0.25, you will going to get so how much? 0.125. So that is what the length of the stub. So what we got. Okay, so now we can write the series stub. Okay, so here, so this is your load, and from load point we are moving a distance of D equal to what we got, 1.126 lambda, and we are connecting a series open stub. Okay, so now we are connecting series open stub with the length of again 0.125 lambda. So this is what it will transform. So this load, which is equal to 100 plus J50 to a 50 ohm. So now you can see here whatever we have got at point A, the stub value, so then the reactance value of this, it will going to nullify by the series open stub, so of length 0.125. Okay, so now little bit change here, because it is offering 1 minus J1, we have to compensate plus J1. So if I add plus J1, then only it will going to so give the, so after stub, so let us take at point B after stub. Okay, so we will going to get after B, so it will give 1. So this is normalized value, that is nothing but ZB, it will going to give 50. So that means, so plus J1 we need to add. So plus J1 means, so again we have to move from here to, so till the value of where plus J1 is. So this is the plus J1. Okay, so this is the length you need to add from this point to this point. Okay, so now from here to here it is 0.25. so you can see here 0.25 and it is gone, so reaching around 0.49, again 0.5 it will become, so or you can make it as 0. So that is, so from here to here it is 0.25, again from here to here it is 0.125, so total value is 375. so that is the value. So we are getting 0.375. so where we are adding this plus J1. So the plus J1 length which is given from open circuited stub is 0.375. So the length of the stub which we got it as 0.375 lambda. Okay, so this is what we need to, so this is the first solution where we will get the point A. Now let us take at this one point C. Okay, so we need to move a distance from here to here. So now see what is the distance you are moving from this point to this point. So second solution, try to do it. So now from this point to till this point we need to move a distance, so almost near to 1 round. So you can, so find out what is the distance. Is it understood or not? Any doubt in this? Hello? Any doubt in this? Is it clear? Try to do this one, second solution. How much distance we are moving? Okay. So the second solution, so the distance, so we can see here, so the starting point is 0.212 which we already know. Okay, so this is the starting point and the ending point is 0.162. okay, so even we can move from here and we can subtract from this point to this point and again add this point, that is also possible. Or once you can do what you can do, so from here to here first measure and then from here to here you can measure. So since it is 0.5 minus 0.212 you can subtract and take that distance and you can add this distance also. Okay, or you can, so one more thing we can, what we can do is, so here it is the value 0.5, 0 or 0.5. So add this 0.16 to this 0.5, so you are going to get 0.66 and subtract this value. So that is also one of the possibility. That is, so you can take 0.5 plus 0.162 which is equal to 0.662. So the final value is 0.662. So now we need to subtract 0.212. So now we are going to get 0.44 lambda. So this is what your distance, that is moving from this point to this point. So from the load point towards the generator to till this point. Okay, so that is what the distance. So now at this point, at C, point C, so you need to find out what is the, so now this is the load. So now we are moving a distance. Okay, so distance 0.44 lambda in order to get the point C. Okay, now at point C, so the normalized value of impedance which is equal to 1 plus J1. Okay, so the normalized value of impedance at point C is 1 plus J1. So now we have to find out the stub where it will going to nullify the value of this reactance. So we need to find the length of the stub. So it is specifically said that length of series open stub. Okay, so now we have already find out, so that is from the open circuit point, so it will give minus J1, so with the length of 0.125. Okay, so this is 0.125 and this one is 0.375 for earlier solution. It is 0.125 lambda here, from here to this point. So now that is the value of the stub, the length of the stub, so which is equal to 0.125 lambda. So now we can connect at this point a series open circuited stub with the length of 0.125 lambda, so that we will going to match the value. So that is, so feed transmission line 50 ohm. Okay, so this is the second solution. So the length of the stub is 0.125 lambda. So distance is 0.44 lambda. Okay, and then the first solution is, so the distance is 0.126 lambda and the length is 0.375 lambda. So is it understood? Any doubt in this? Hello? Anybody? Hello, understood all of you? Shilpashri, Kavya, hello, Anjaregod,
Yes, sir.
got it?
Understood.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in order to find the length of the stub, so first we need to on the resistance circle, unity resistance circle or unity conductance circle, we need to see. Since they are specified series open circuited stub, we need to look at the points, so where it will be on the unity resistance circle after moving the distance from the load point. Okay, so now let us take this. So the first point A itself, we are moving the distance from load point to this point towards the generator, so that we will get the impedance value which is 1. Okay, so now at this point, so we are getting the impedance value which is 1 minus J1. Okay, so this 1 corresponds to almost, so 50 ohm, so where we have absolute value of 50 ohm. Okay, but the reactance value at this point is, so minus J1. So now that minus J1 we need to compensate by using the length of the stub. Okay, so that length calculation, so now we can see here, so at point A minus J1 is there. Okay, so at point A the impedance, the value of the reactance is minus J1, but we need to add, in order to cancel this reactance, we need to add plus J1 reactance. So now we need to find out what is the length of the stub in order to give this much reactance, in order to nullify this one. So this plus J1, so reactance you can see from the open circuit point, because we need to use series open stub. So that is what the condition which is given. So now from the open stub point, so we need to find out what is the length which will give the plus J1. So now we can see in the impedance chart, the plus J1 is here. Okay, so now from this point, okay, so from this point we need to move towards the generator till, not towards the generator, from the open circuit point we need to move till the value of J1. Okay, so only whenever we moving the distance, so you need to move towards generator. Whenever you are finding out the length, so you have to find out whether it is a open circuit stub or short circuit stub we need to use. So now we are open circuit stub we need to use. So from the open circuit point, move the point where till the value of the J1. So now this is a plus J1 which is there. Now from this point to this point, if you measure the value, so that is the length of the stub. Okay, so that is what for point A, the solution 1. So we use the length of the stub 0.375. Okay, so similarly at point C, so the second solution, so where we are moving from the load point to till the point C, where it will be touching the unity resistance circle. So that distance we have to measure for the second solution. So that distance moving towards the generator, which will give, so 0.375 0.44 lambda. So that since we are moving from this point and it is giving 0 here, okay, so first we need to take from this point as a 0.5, and again what is the value here, you can see 0.5 plus 0.162, so you can add, so the total you will going to get 0.662, that is the end point. So now at the starting point is 0.221, subtract it, you will going to get the distance 0.44 lambda. So that is the distance. So now at point C, so now we need to see what is the value of the impedance. So that is nothing but 1 plus j1. So now we need to find out the length of the stub in order to cancel this reactance to match the value to 1 ohm or it is 50 ohm. So this j1, so we need to find again what is the length from the series open circuit point. So this is the open circuit point. So find out in the impedance chart, because it is a series stub. So from this open circuit point, find out where it is minus j1. So this is the point where we have minus j1. So from this point move till this point. So that is the length of the stub in the second solution. So that is what we are going to get, the length of the stub, and connect at point C the length of the stub, which is 0.2125 lambda, so that it will match this load impedance to the feed transmission line 50 ohm feed line. Okay, so is it understood? Still any doubt? Hello? So if you have still any doubt, you can ask, otherwise we will move to the next problem. Okay, so now we are going to move to the next problem. Okay, so the problem is, so design a matching network using quarter wave transformer. So this is quarter wave transformer. Quarter wave transformer in the sense the length of this transformer is lambda by 4. So quarter wave, okay, quarter wave transformer that would transform that would transform 50 ohm load to the input reflection coefficient gamma in, which is given by 0.68 at an angle 97 degree. So this is the problem. So design a matching network using quarter wave transformer that would transform 50 ohm load to this input reflection coefficient. So now we can use here any kind of the stub. Okay, so in order to match this load 50 ohm to input reflection of this one, we can use any kind of stub, either series stub, short stub, whatever it is. Okay, but you need to use the quarter wave transformer. That is most important. That is where we have the load. Okay, so now we have to use the quarter wave transformer in between and some stub. Okay, so any stub we can use after this, and you need to match the 50 ohm load to a input reflection coefficient 0.68 at an angle 97 degree. So now use the quarter wave transformer, but we don't know the characteristic impedance of this quarter wave transformer. So now we need to find out what is the characteristic impedance of this quarter wave transformer. That is also very important. Okay, so now you can see, so our load is 50 ohm. Okay, so characteristic impedance of the feed line, it is always 50 ohm. So now if we normalize the value, so we will going to get, so the load point ZL, if you going to normalize, you will going to get 50 by 50, which is equal to 1. So now, so the one which is there here in the center of the Smith chart. Okay, so this is the 1. So this is our ZL normalized. Okay, so now we need to transform this point to gamma in. So now we need to first find out where is the gamma in. So what is the gamma in which is given? So gamma in which is given it as the 0.68 at an angle 97 degree. So that we need to locate first. Okay, so first you locate the gamma in. Okay, so now we have the radius is 0.68. So you can take that value and you can take the radius of that 0.68 in the reflection coefficient scale. So you can see reflection coefficient ERI, it is there. So take that and 0.68 you take. Okay, so that 0.68 you can mark. So somewhere you can mark where we have the 97 degree it will come. So now you can see here, so somewhere here 90 degree it is there. So from this you can see 0 degree, 10 degree, 15 degree like that. So there we will be having 97 degree. So I am getting the point here. Okay, so now if I make the line from center to that point. Okay, so where it is making the intersection, that is our input reflection coefficient, that is this point. This is our gamma in. Okay, so now we need to transform this point to this point. So that is what important thing. Okay, so now we can see, so here we need to first find out what is the input impedance. So that is Z in. So normalized. So what is the value of Z in at this point? Okay, so if I read that one, so you will going to get the value which is around 0.32. Okay, and the reactance value which is equal to, so this is 1 and this is 0.8 and this is 0.9. So in between it is there. So we will take it as plus J.82. Okay, so this is the input impedance value. Now we need to transform this 50 ohm to this value, that is 1. So normalized value which is 1. So we need to transform this 1 to this value. So for that, so we need to find out the impedance of the quarter wave transformer. So in order to find out the impedance of the quarter wave transformer or characteristic impedance of the quarter wave transformer, so now we take the real part of this. So normalized input impedance 0.32, that is R in. So R in normalized which is 0.32, and we can find out what is R in absolute value which is 0.32 into 50. Okay, so that is the first thing we need to do. Take we have find out the normalized input impedance which is equal to 0.32 plus J.82. So now, so the R in absolute value which is equal to 0.32 into 50. So which is equal to 16 ohm. Okay, so this is what the input impedance, 16 ohm. Now in order to find out the characteristic impedance of quarter wave transformer, there is an equation which is equal to square root of ZL into Zin. Okay, so we will take always the real parts here. So that is square root of RL into RL. So in general we will write this one, but we will take the real impedances. So now if we take that real impedances, so this is 50 into, so R in is 16. So this is what the value of the quarter wave characteristic impedance of the quarter wave transformer. Okay, so now what is the value it will going to have? So you can see what is the value it will going to transform. Okay, so find out the value of this one. So what is the value of 50 into root 16 into root of that? Hello, can anybody tell what is the value? Okay, 28.28. So now this is the characteristic impedance of the quarter wave transformer. Okay, so now, so again you take the normalized value, divide by 50, so you will going to get the value of the, so the quarter wave transformer, normalized value of the quarter wave transformer. Okay, so now we need to, so as I said, so here there is a load, we have the load 50 ohm. Okay, so now from this we need to add the lambda by 4. The characteristic impedance is whatever we have find out, 28.28 ohm. So this is the lambda by 4 quarter wave transformer. Okay, so now we can transform this value. Okay, so where we got the normalized input impedance 0.32 by using this transformation. Okay, so you can see where 0.32 it will come, so that transformation will going to happen. That is, so this is the value of 0.32. Okay, so this point. Okay, so from this point to this point, so we are going to get by adding this quarter wave transformer. Okay, so that is what, so this is, we transforming this load point to the 0.32 where the impedance value is there. So by taking that, we are taking this, the characteristic impedance of the quarter wave transformer, so this will transform this point to this point. Okay, so now we can see, so what is the, so value from here to here, we need to add the stub. So that is what important. So what is the value of this, the reactance value? Okay, what is the reactance value which is offered? So that much reactance value we need to add it by using the stub from this point to, in order to get this point. Okay, so we need to add the stub. So now we are taking the impedance value. Okay, we are taking the impedance value, so we need to add the series, so that is stub. Okay, series stub, whether it is open or short, that is left to you, but we need to add the series stub. Okay, so either you can add series short stub or we can add the series open stub. That is what we need to find out. So let us take series short stub. So we need to find out what is the length of this stub in order to give this much reactance. Okay, so now we can find out the short circuit point is here, and we need to find out 0.82 J. So where is that? So you can see here it is a 1, value 1, and 0.8 is here and 0.9 is here. So somewhere 0.82, so somewhere here it will going to give. So now that is the value you will going to get the length of the stub. Okay, so now this is the point where we will get the length of the stub. So we have here 0 and here we have the 0.11, so this is 0.11 lambda. Okay, so now we can use that short circuit series stub of length 0.11 lambda, so that will give the, so the reactance value of 0.82. So at this point we are getting the 0.32, where we transform from 50 to 0.32, and we are adding the reactance value 0.82 by using this length of the stub. And you can use one more solution, that is, so we can use this lambda by 4 as it is. We can use the open circuited stub. Okay, so this is open circuit series stub. So of length we have to find out what is the open circuit series stub length. So now you can see open circuit series stub is, so this is the open circuit point. Now from this point to till this point we have to find out the length. So anyhow from here to here half of the, so length, that is 0.25. So if you add 0.25 to 0.11, you will going to get the value of this one. So that is 0.25 plus 0.11, so that length which will give 0.36 lambda. So this is what the open series open circuited stub. Okay, So that is what 0.36 lambda we will going to get in the second solution, and in the first solution we will going to get 0.11 lambda. Is it understood this one, how we can transform the load point to the particular gamma in? So any doubt? Hello, anybody, any doubt? So now how we will transform the if I take the admittance, or if I want to use the shunt kind of thing, that is shunt short circuit stub and shunt open circuit stub. If I want to use that, what I need to do, I need to find out what is the Y in here. Okay, I need to find out what is the Y in here. So corresponding to the Y in, what is the susceptance value which is at this point. So correspondingly you have to find out the length of the short shunt stub or short open stub. Corresponding to that susceptance you have to find out the length of the stub. So that also another way of finding out, or another way of transforming this ZL into the gamma in, which is reflection coefficient. Okay, so is it clear? So any doubt? Okay, so now we'll use, so even so whenever we have these stub realizations, so always, so we need to use some technology for this realization, that is stub realization using microstrip line. Okay, so whatever we represents this stub, okay, so whether it is short stub, okay, so open stub and all, so these are all microstrip based technology. Okay, so now even so some problems what will happen, the single stub, so whenever the load varies, okay, so if I just change the load value dynamically, then definitely this whatever the length or distance from the stub, it will going to vary. Okay, so if I take some load value and dynamically if I vary the value, so definitely these values will going to change if I use the single stub. Okay, so let us take here itself the example. So now we have the distance this much and the length this much for this particular value of load. Okay, that is 100 plus J50. Now if I dynamically change the value of the load, then this distance and length will going to vary. Okay, so now how to use for dynamic variation of the, so the dynamic loads, how to use this stub realization in the microstrip line technology, how to use the so dynamic loads or varying loads. So what we'll do, so we'll take two stubs. Okay, okay, so in order to do this variation of the load, okay, we'll take two stubs. So let us take the shunt stub, one position I am taking one shunt stub, another position I am taking another shunt stub. Okay, so now I'll take the length of these stubs L dash and L. Okay, so L dash and L which are same. Okay, the length of the stubs which are taking same, but so if I vary the characteristic impedance of this one, okay, the characteristic impedance of L and L dash, or stub 1 and stub 2, so if I vary and fixing the length, so I can able to solve for any kind of the load. So that is what we will call it as double stub realization. Okay, so we are not able to use for the single stub realization where the load is varying. So that problem we can fix by using the double stub design. So where we can take the two stubs, okay, two stubs which are length which are equal. So the length of the stubs which are equal, but the characteristic impedance of this one, so it will be taken as 2 times of other one. By taking this one, so we can solve the problem of dynamic load variation. So where we will get the admittance also, whatever the, so the admittance of this stub, whatever we take the stub, so that will going to off of the total admittance. So like that we can able to design these two stubs of same length and with taking the different characteristic impedances. So this is how the stub realization. So in the microstrip line technology, so because once the position of the stubs are fixed, so we cannot vary so in the design. So that's why, so for the dynamic load variation we can fix the stub positions and we can vary this characteristic impedance and length, so that we can realize any kind of the load. Okay, so the solution for any kind of the load we can able to design. So that is what, so the stub realization using microstrip technology, so where we can use for dynamic loads, so double stub design or two stub design. Okay, so this is what the, so stub realization and different solutions for the loads, so by taking different stub values. So now we have solved many problems like series stub, short circuit stub, and even the reflection coefficient transformation from the load. So till now, if you have any doubt you can ask. So you need to practice more in order to get very good insight in this, how we can do that. And if you get any doubt you can ask. Okay, so this is about your Smith chart problems, and it will be third unit. It will be in the third unit. This is completed. The third unit will be completed. So let us have one quiz on Saturday or Friday. So that is tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Okay, I'll put it in the group. Okay. So if you have any doubt in these problems, you can ask. Is it understood, these problems? So the stub realization and reflection coefficient problem. So if you have any doubt, you can ask in this